Sergeant Mark stood tall and rigid, a figure of authority in his crisp uniform. His reputation preceded him. He was known as a strict leader, demanding perfection from his recruits. With a no-nonsense attitude, he ran the training camps like a finely tuned machine. However, beneath that tough exterior lay a surprising sense of humor that would occasionally break through the seriousness of military life. He loved to pull pranks on his recruits, believing it built camaraderie among them. But Sergeant Mark's humor often came with a sharp edge. He valued discipline above all and expected his recruits to earn their place in the squad. As he paced through the training grounds, he watched his new group with keen eyes, assessing their potential and resolve. Little did he know that this particular day would set off a chain of events that would challenge his perceptions and lead to an unexpected connection with one recruit who would turn out to be more than just another soldier. The sun shone brightly over the training camp as excitement filled the air. Sergeant Mark had gathered the new recruits for a day of drills, but he had something different in mind. With a playful grin, he decided to pull one of his classic pranks to lighten the atmosphere. As the recruits stood at attention, he scanned the group for a target, his eyes landing on Jessica, who was eager to impress. "All right, everyone, it's time for a little fun," he called out, his voice booming. The recruits exchanged nervous glances, sensing the mischief that was about to unfold. Without hesitation, Mark approached Jessica and grabbed a pair of clippers from his toolkit. Laughter erupted among the other soldiers as he pretended to measure her hair, making exaggerated gestures. Amidst the giggles and cheers, he swiftly took a small section of her hair and snipped it off. The light-hearted chaos filled the camp, but little did they know how this prank would soon take a serious turn. Jessica stood among the new recruits, her heart racing with a mix of excitement and nerves. This was her first day in the military, and she was determined to prove herself. With her short, dark hair pulled back in a neat bun, she had a spirited expression that showed her strong personality. Unlike some of her fellow recruits, who looked unsure of themselves, Jessica felt a sense of purpose. She had always dreamed of serving her country and was ready to face any challenge that came her way. As she listened to Sergeant Mark's instructions, she admired his confidence and leadership. Jessica felt inspired by the camaraderie around her, eager to make lasting friendships along the way. Little did she know that her strong-willed attitude would soon catch Sergeant Mark's attention, not just in playful pranks, but in ways that would redefine their connection. Today was just the beginning of her military journey, and Jessica was ready to embrace it all, especially the challenges ahead. As the prank unfolded, laughter filled the air, and the other recruits watched with wide eyes, half amused and half horrified. Sergeant Mark, unaware of the possible consequences, raised the clippers in front of Jessica's face with a mischievous smile. "Just a little off the top," he joked before bringing the buzzing device closer to her hair. In that split second, Jessica felt her heart drop. "Wait, what?" she exclaimed, disbelief flooding her thoughts. Before she could react, he snipped a lock of her hair away. Gasps erupted from the other recruits, and silence fell as they processed what had just happened. Jessica's hands flew to her head in shock, her expression transforming from surprise to anger. "Are you serious?" she shouted, her voice a mix of disbelief and frustration. The laughter died down as they all turned to watch her reaction. This was no longer a fun prank. It felt like a violation. In that moment, Jessica realized this was not just a joke. It was turning into something much more serious. Jessica took a deep breath, her pulse still racing from the prank. As she tried to calm herself, memories flooded back of why she joined the military in the first place. Growing up in a small town, she faced many challenges, including financial struggles that often made it hard for her family to make ends meet. Jessica had always been a fighter. She worked multiple jobs to help support her mother and younger siblings after her father left. Determined to create a better future for herself and her family, she applied to join the military as a way to gain discipline, skills, and a sense of purpose. The sense of pride she felt when receiving her acceptance letter was unmatched. The military represented strength and opportunity, and she was ready to embrace every moment of it. Even amidst her anger at the haircut prank, Jessica reminded herself that this experience was about growth. She would not let a moment of foolishness define her journey or diminish the pride she felt in serving her country. As Jessica stood there, her face flushed with anger and disbelief, Sergeant Mark's playful demeanor began to fade. Watching her reaction closely, he noticed something deeper in her eyes, a mix of hurt and determination that struck a chord within him. In that moment, the seriousness of his prank became clear. She wasn't just another recruit. Jessica embodied resilience and strength that he hadn't fully appreciated before. Mark realized that his actions had consequences beyond a simple joke. He had inadvertently attacked a part of her identity, a part she fought so hard to protect through her journey to join the military. The laughter of the other recruits faded into the background as he confronted his mistake. Suddenly, he felt a wave of regret wash over him. This was not just about hair. It was about respect and understanding. In witnessing Jessica's emotional turmoil, he understood that she had stories and dreams, making her more than a soldier to him. She was an individual worth recognizing and respecting. After the hair incident, Sergeant Mark took the time to speak with Jessica one-on-one, wanting to make amends. He approached her during a break, gauging her reactions carefully. "Hey, can we talk?" he asked, sincerity in his voice. Jessica hesitated but eventually nodded. As they exchanged thoughts, the initial tension slowly faded. Jessica shared her journey, her challenges, and the reasons she joined the military. Mark listened attentively, impressed by her determination and dreams. In turn, he opened up about his own experiences, revealing the pressures of leadership and his desire to inspire younger soldiers. Through their conversation, they discovered common ground, a shared sense of duty and passion for serving their country. As they talked about their ambitions and fears, laughter began to replace tension, and a friendship started to blossom. This unexpected connection changed their dynamic. Jessica felt seen and respected, while Sergeant Mark gained a deeper understanding of the individuals he was meant to lead. The prank had a profound impact on both Sergeant Mark and Jessica, shifting their perspectives in unexpected ways. For Mark, the incident served as a wake-up call. He became more considerate of his recruits' feelings and began to understand that humor should never come at the expense of someone else's dignity. The experience taught him that leadership required empathy, encouraging him to foster a supportive environment. On the other hand, Jessica displayed remarkable resilience. Instead of letting the incident hold her back, she chose to rise above it with humor and grace. She learned to find strength in her vulnerability and shared her experiences with her fellow recruits, inspiring them to see challenges as opportunities for personal growth. This newfound perspective allowed both Jessica and Mark to appreciate their roles in the military more deeply, understanding that each experience, even the difficult ones, could lead to stronger bonds and better teamwork as they faced future challenges together. As the weeks passed, Jessica and Sergeant Mark worked closely during training exercises, where their friendship began to flourish. In one drill, they were paired for a challenging obstacle course that required teamwork and communication. Mark encouraged Jessica to take the lead, recognizing her determination and newfound confidence. "All right, Jessica, I'm right behind you," he said with a supportive nod as she navigated the first obstacle, a tall wall. With a swift movement, she scaled it and turned back to help him up. Their laughter echoed as they completed each challenge, their bond growing stronger with every success and setback. Mark began to admire her resourcefulness during tactical drills, where Jessica's quick thinking often saved the day. In return, she respected his guidance and leadership style, realizing he genuinely cared about their growth. Together, they built not only skills but also trust, transforming what began as a prank into a partnership rooted in respect, camaraderie, and shared goals. The day of the final training exercise arrived, and it proved to be a decisive moment for both Sergeant Mark and Jessica. The task involved a complex simulation that required the recruits to work together to complete a mission while addressing obstacles along the way. Mark's leadership was put to the test as he organized his squad, assigning roles based on each recruit's strengths. As they ventured into the scenario, things quickly grew chaotic. A sudden obstacle, a mock enemy stronghold, appeared, requiring quick thinking from all involved. Jessica sprang into action, leveraging her tactical skills and communicating a plan to navigate through safely. Mark recognized her confidence and adapted his strategy based on her approach. Trusting each other completely, they made decisions in tandem, using their combined strengths to overcome challenges. As they crossed the finish line together, cheers erupted from their fellow recruits. This pivotal experience reinforced their friendship and ultimately showcased how far they had come as individuals and as a team. In the end, both Sergeant Mark and Jessica emerged from their experiences forever changed. Mark had transformed from a strict leader into a more understanding and empathetic mentor, recognizing the significance of his role in shaping the lives of his recruits. He learned to approach each individual with respect and care, valuing their unique stories as they prepared for service. Jessica, on the other hand, blossomed into a confident leader among her peers. The challenges she faced only fueled her determination, turning her vulnerability into strength. She became a source of inspiration for other recruits, showing them that resilience could lead to personal growth and success. As they stood side by side at graduation, Mark felt immense pride in the young woman Jessica had become. Their journey together highlighted the power of connection and understanding within the military, a bond that not only shaped their paths but also reinforced the importance of teamwork and friendship in facing life's challenges head-on. As Jessica and Sergeant Mark reflected on their journey, they recognized the profound lessons learned about friendship, respect, and understanding differences. Their initial encounter was marked by a misunderstanding that led to growth for both of them. They learned the importance of looking beyond first impressions and realizing that everyone has their own story and struggles. Mark's transformation from a strict leader to a compassionate mentor exemplified how empathy can break down barriers. Jessica's rise as a confident leader illustrated the strength found in resilience. Together, they embraced the values of teamwork and support, proving that true connection comes from acknowledging each other's humanity. As they stood together at graduation, they knew their experiences would resonate far beyond their time in training. The bond forged through adversity reminded them both that respecting differences and showing kindness creates lasting relationships, paving the way for a brighter future where everyone is valued for who they truly are.